Hey guys, Signosia here. Today I want to show you a technique to double or maybe triple your DPS as an Affliction Warlock. This is maybe a bug or it's intended, I don't know, but I think Blizzard will fix it soon because I discovered an extended bug to the bug that was discovered on the MMO-Champion some days ago that will make you able to burst 1 million and keep your super boosted dots from the beginning of the fight throughout the whole fight. And now I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so now I want to explain you how the bug that was discovered on the MMO-Champ forums works. Um, it basically works like that. As many Affliction Warlocks knows, your burst depends on the procs you get from the beginning from trinkets and weapon and all that crap, which you most likely will have all of this up in the beginning of a fight. Like you'll have Heroism up, you'll have Dark Soul up, you'll have your weapon proc up, you'll have your trinket procs up, and you will have your pre-pot. So your dots will be like extremely boosted when you refresh them the first time in the beginning of the fight. But dot snapshots your stats when you refresh them, they will obviously be boosted like hell. Now, some guy in the MMO-Champ forums discovered that if you soul swap without the glyph, you will take all the dots away from the target, but those dots will still keep the amount of stats you had of each stat when you applied them. That means if you soul swap away the dots you had when you bursted, like when you refreshed your dots with all the procs up, and then swap it to another target, all the dots will be refreshed and they will still be empowered by all your procs. Now you can soul swap them off the target again and put it back on your main target, and your burst will basically be refreshed without losing any of the damage increase. So now I'm just gonna show you how this works on a dummy. Okay, so first I want to apply all my dots so that I can proc my trinkets and stuff. I'm just gonna manually put them up. And then I'm gonna wait for my procs to come up. See, I already got them up, so I'm gonna pop Dark Soul. I'm gonna wait a bit till my Visual is stacked up, and then I'm gonna pop Potion. Okay, I'll pop my Potion now, just in case. I'll now refresh all my dots, and then I'll just wait till I'm like out of combat or till Unstable Affliction runs. Now, like look at how much damage my dots deals now. I'm just gonna swap them off the target. Remember how much damage they dealt? Gonna swap them to another target, and all the dots are refreshed. You see, the dots are dealing the same amount of damage, 55k crit. And as soon as Unstable Affliction is about to wear off, you're just gonna swap them off, put them back to your main target, or you could like do that instantly. Your dots will still deal the same amount of damage as they did in the beginning, because like you swap them off with all the procs up. You can swap them off to another target, swap them off again, and swap them back to main target. This works extremely good on Megara, because you can basically just like burst the first head, swap them off, put them to the other head, swap them off, put it to the main target. And you will be refreshing your dots, and they will still be extremely empowered by your procs. So this is how the first technique works, and this will increase your DPS a lot on fights where you're able to do this, which means it requires that there is more than one target alive. But it works really good, and it will increase your DPS significantly. I can personally key you up to like 250k unbuffed on dummies by doing this technique. So now this technique, like maybe 100 Warlocks already knows about, but I found out how to like extend this technique, like how to make it even more broken, even more OP, and I'm gonna explain you now how I did this. Also, this technique works like very well if you have the Lai Shen trinket or nearing vision of Lai Shen, which gives you 100% crit chance. Which basically does that when you apply your dots, all your dots will be critting all the time, and when you swap them off and swap them to another target, they will still have 100% crit chance. I sadly do not have this trinket yet, but I'm really trying to get it, because with this technique you will be able to have 100% crit chance throughout the whole fight. On, for example, Megara, like Council, Horidon, Dark Animus, Iron Quan Heroic, all that kind of stuff. Having 100% crit chance throughout the whole fight is, yeah, it's pretty like simple that it's a huge increase. So if you have this trinket, this technique is extreme, like it's fucking extreme. So yeah, well, now I'm gonna show you how I like extend this bug so that it's more effective. Okay, so extending the bug, I found out that when you, as you know, when you swap off the dots from your target, the dots you swap off will keep the damage increase your dots had. And I was like wondering, what if I go to Throne of the Tides, the dungeon, and clear to the last boss, and I get like an LFR group ready to summon me? If I, for example, like go to the last boss in last phase, apply all my dots with 2000% damage increase, swap them off and quickly kill the boss, get summoned into LFR in front of the boss, pull the boss immediately, and swap the dots on the boss. I was able to do this with some friends, and I did 10 million burst DPS. I immediately stopped DPSing because I was scared of being reported for doing this, and I didn't want to get banned, so I stopped doing it and I stopped DPSing it all. But I thought that this, like, it works, so I thought it was like it's worth showing on my YouTube channel because yeah, it's pretty cool. But I won't recommend you doing this because it is a bug abuse. But you could like try it out like I did, but don't abuse it. Don't use it like for progress rating and shit like that. Just use it one time to see how ridiculous it is. I'm now going to show you that this is not bullshit. This actually works, and I'm going to show you it in a very simple way. I don't even need help to do this, so here you go. Okay, how I'm going to show this is that I'm just going to apply all my dots. Then I'm going to open my back and get ready to Hearthstone. I'm going to swap all my dots off the target and immediately Hearthstone. Now, my Hearthstone is set to Stormwind. You see, I still have the Soul Swap buff. You get the Soul Swap buff. Now, when I Hearthstone, I will be teleported to a whole other continent. I still have the Soul Swap buff. So that means you will obviously still have the Soul Swap buff when you get summoned into a raid after getting this damage increase from Throne of the Tides. So that's pretty simply how I wanted to show you guys that this actually works. Again, I do not recommend you trying this. Yes, I recommend you trying it, but I don't recommend you like using it for progress rates or using it for doing something that you were not able, like, supposed to be able to do. So try it once on like a dummy or raid, and then don't do it anymore. That's my recommendation. So I hope you enjoyed this pretty cool trick, and the first technique that I showed that was discovered on the MMO-Champion forums, feel free to use it. It's like a huge damage increase. It will most likely get fixed soon, so but yeah, it's a mechanic in the game that works. Like, you could do it by mistakes, so there's nothing wrong in doing it. So yeah, have fun having like extreme DPS on those fights that has more than one target. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and yeah, see you guys.